I wanted to do a little demo about a new feature that Anthropic's released where they've now got Claude Code running what they call it Claude Code for web. But what I think is the most interesting part of this is actually that Claude Code for web also means Claude Code for mobile. So anybody who's talked to me about using Claude Code knows that one of my favorite use cases for Claude Code is actually running it on my phone. I'm using it while I'm walking around doing stuff, solving other problems in my life, or even things just as simple as folding laundry. And so what I've got here is a terminal running Mosh and actually inside of a tmux session. And in there, then I've got Claude Code running. And so there's a little app that I've been developing this year, a lot of it with Claude Code, some of it with Cursor, some of it with ChatGPT, some of it just old school writing code, called metra-timetable, which is a metra-timetable app. If anybody lives in the Chicago area, it gives you a countdown to your next train from your station. And I use Claude Code to do a variety of things, adding features to things, changing how things work. And I can ask it questions right here on my phone. And so I find this really helpful if I'm brainstorming new ideas or if I'm asking it to solve complicated problems where I know it's going to go away and it's going to work for several minutes at a time. And so the thing that really intrigued me about Claude Code for Web was using it on the phone. And this is very cool to me because all of a sudden the Claude Code tab in here actually does something. So when I come in here, here is my metra-timetable app. So what I thought would be fun to do today is to actually try and add a feature to the timetable. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my prompt. So right away, the biggest and most useful thing to me of this experience versus working in Terminus is when I'm working in a terminal console, autocomplete doesn't work. So I'm typing loads and loads of typos when I'm using that interface. For the most part, large language models don't seem to mind, but I mind. I notice that I've done the wrong thing. So so anyway, here you can see you have a nice interface, and my favorite thing actually, the biggest thing that you lose when you use Mosh is that you lose scrollback capability. You can get that back with tmux, but it's still just not the same as being able to scroll up and down. So it'll be really interesting to me to see how good Claude Code for Web actually is. So I can see that it's trying to figure out from the documentation and the code files that I have here how to actually download the schedule files and process this and build and test it. So the most useful skill that Claude Code has and demonstrates is its ability to do stuff at the command line here, and you can see that it's trying to figure things out as it does it, and oftentimes trying to figure things out in the hard way. So there it's worked on its to-do list, and it's examining the source code and is working on the part of the program which renders the Metra schedules that Metra publishes in the GTFS data format into a JSON data format that this web app uses to read. So while this works, I'll go give you a quick tour of what the web app looks like. So it's nothing fancy. It's actually a user interface inspired by an app that a developer wrote many, many years ago that a bunch of Metra commuters used to like and love. And unfortunately, the developer stopped maintaining the app, and the official apps are all right. But if you're late for a train, you want to have the minimal number of taps. And if you're a creature of habit, you probably put your line and your station in here, like I have. and you never change those because you 99% of the time will always take the same line and go to the same station. The biggest questions are you going to downtown, are you coming from downtown, and when's my next train? I just want to scroll down and find the time to the next train. And as you can see, the last train is about to leave the station. Fortunately, I'm at home. So, um, so anyway, that's how this little application works. I've got all the different Metro train lines in there. Um, and I've been working on this throughout the year, and I've found it rather useful when I'm commuting downtown. So let's see how Claude Code for Web is actually doing working on this. I think what I'm seeing so far is it's slower than when I'm running Claude Code on my own machine. It's also distinctly different than when I'm running Claude Code on my machine, because when it runs on my machine it has to ask permission to do a lot of things. But it's also showing me diffs in real time, which even if you're running in some kind of dangerous mode, or if you've just told it, give it full edit permissions for index.html, but like here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 edits to index.html. That's cool, but I don't see the diffs scrolling by. And if I have time when I'm watching a tool like this working, I'm watching what it's writing, and every now and then I'm interrupting it, going, "No, you've got it wrong," and I'm noticing stuff. And here, the bash commands that it's running, I'm seeing a little bit of output. I'm actually not seeing all of the output, and actually, as I'm tapping at these commands trying to get output, I'm not actually getting anything. So I'm not actually really able to supervise the process as it goes. I think I did have a stop button there. Okay, there we go. And now it's finished, and it's this is the vibe code dream. Is hey, I put in something, and you didn't have to press any buttons. Implementation complete! Exclamation point. Um, I could review these changes really quickly, but you probably don't want to watch me do this. So I will come back and double check these things later. Let's assume that I was a good developer there, and maybe this has been vibe engineered and not vibe coded. But hey, let's just go ahead and make a pull request. The cool thing about this app is that the way I've got it developed, the way I've got it coded up, is that there's a webhook that will automatically deploy this to the live system. So we will sit here, and I will hit the magic merge button, the blind merge button. Don't think, just merge, and we'll see what happens. So I can see over on my other screen that the webhook is running right now and deploying the changes. Let's see what happens. So my change just merged, but I'm just waiting for the webhook, which takes about 40 seconds to run. So it was kind of interesting there that it just didn't give me any knowledge of what it was doing. And even now that it's done, I can't inspect what it's done. I literally just have to go review the pull request, which, you're going to review a pull request, but still, like, one of the nice things about Claude Code is it shows you how it's working. So our webhook is almost done. Let's go see how we did. So, hooray, I have a new schedule picker. So I can pick between weekday schedule, Saturday, and Sunday schedule. My to and from downtown radios still work. My station list looks like it's still working. It looks like it's actually done a halfway decent job. And lo and behold, even my webhook worked. So not bad. Not bad. Overall, what I think this means, if you have simple changes that you want to make, or if you're working on low impact systems, or if you're really just brainstorming something, I've seen some amazing demos of how to use Claude Code beyond just writing code, actually, just using it for working with Git repositories that are full of different text documents, like, say, notes about things that you're working on. This gives a better interface, maybe, for a lot of different situations than, this kind of interface, which I think that this is actually a better Claude Code what I'm looking at here, because I think it's more versatile, has more capability, you can configure it more, it has thinking mode and things like that. But but for simple stuff, running things in Claude's environment, which is how this one works, and not having as much control over how it works, maybe that's okay. It is a nicer, richer interface that I can scroll back on, rather than how I scroll back in Terminus, which is Control B page up to get to things. So not bad.